Paul Bunyan. 1. Who made Paul Bunyan? Who made Paul Bunyan? Who gave birth as a myth and joked him into life as a master lumberjack? Who fashioned him forth an apparition, easing the hours of men among axes and trees, saws and lumber? The people, bookless people that made Paul and had him alive long before he got into the books for those who read. He grew up in shanties, around the hot stoves of winter, among socks and mittens drying, and the smells of tobacco smoke and the roar of laughter mocking the outside weather. And some of Paul came overseas in wooden bunks, below decks in sailing vessel, and some of Paul is as old as the hills, and young as the alphabet. The Pacific Ocean froze over in the winter of blue snow, and Paul Bunyan had long teams of oxen hauling regular white snow over to China. This was the winter that Paul gave a party of 7 oxen. Paul fixed the granite floor, sunk 200 feet for them to dance on. Still, it tipped and tilted as the dance went on. Because the 7 axemen refused to take off their hobnailed boots, the sparks and nails of their dancing lit up the place so that Paul didn't like the kerosene lamps. No women being on the Big Onion River at the time, the 7 axemen had to dance with each other, and one left over the each and taken Paul as partner. The commotion of the dancing in the night brought the earthquake and the Big Onion River moved into 3 counties to the east. One year, when it rained from St. Patrick's Day until the 4th of July, Paul Bunyan got disgusted because the celebration of the 4th was spoiled. He dived into Lake Superior and swam to the solid pillar of water that was coming down. He dived under the pillar and swam into it and climbed up the powerful swimming strokes and was gone in about an hour. Came splashing down as the rain stopped and explained, "I turned the damn thing off." This was told in the Big North Woods and on the Great Lakes, with many particulars. 2 mosquitoes lighted on one of Paul Bunyan's oxen and killed it, made it, cleaned the bones, and sat on a grub shanty picking their teeth as Paul came along. Paul sent to Australia the 2 special hump bumblebees to kill these mosquitoes, but the bees and the mosquitoes intermarried, and the children had stingers on both ends. And things kept getting worse till Paul brought a big boatload of sorghum up from Louisiana, and while all the bee mosquitoes were eating the sweet sorghum, he floated down to the Gulf of Mexico, so that they got so fat that it was easy to drown them all between New Orleans and Galveston. Paul logged a little gimlet in Oregon one winter, cooked stove at the camp and covered an acre of ground. They fastened the side of a hog to each snowshoe, and 4 men used the skates and griddleback while the cook flipped the pancakes. The eating table was 3 miles long. Elevators carried the cakes to one end of the table where boys on bicycles rode back and forth in the path down the center of the table, dropping the cakes were called for. Benny, the little blue ox of Paul Bunyan, grew 2 feet every time Paul looked at him when a youngster. When the barn was gone one morning, he found that Benny's back. He grew out of it in the night. One night he kept on and bellowing for more pancakes till there were 200 men at the shanty stove trying to keep him fed. About breakfast time, Benny broke loose and tore down the cook shanty and ate all the pancakes piled up for the lover's breakfast. After that, Benny made his mistake. He ate the red-hot stove, and that finished him. This was only one of the hot stove stories in North Woods.